The connection between knowledge and the world is inseparable. In the book, The Order of Things, by Michael Foucault, the author explores the relationship between these two aspects. However, it is worth noticing that human understanding of a painting changes to some extent with shifts in cultural and historical contexts. The first chapter of the book introduces a painting titled Las Meninas. It is a 1656 painting in the Museo del Prado in Madrid by Diego Velázquez, the leading artist of the Spanish Baroque. It has become one of the most widely analyzed works in Western painting for the way its complex composition raises questions about reality and illusion, and for the uncertain relationship it creates between the viewer and the figures depicted. This artwork employs unique visual strategies that enhance the interaction and dynamic connection between the figures within the painting and the viewer. Since then, the painting has been imbued with new meanings, also enabling viewers to gain a deeper understanding of knowledge itself and the world around them. The organization of knowledge can completely change the perception of education for all humans. According to Foucault, different periods or epistemes have underlying assumptions, codes, and rules which are mostly unconscious or at least create a structure about how to think about things in the world, says R.A. Chordorge, who wrote a book report, The Order of Things, An Archaeology of the Human Sciences. When writing about Les Meninas, it seems that Foucault is trying to predetermine how the viewer will perceive the piece. However, we believe that this idea of predetermining a concept from art disrupts ideas of observational knowledge. If one person was to predetermine how humans observe the world and collect knowledge, this would completely disrupt the foundational structure of education. One's perception of the world around them is created from a variety of factors, such as their culture or background. Different cultures are going to change how one views a painting. This variety of backgrounds and perspectives also takes on a big role in observational knowledge and how knowledge changes from culture to culture. Everything is perceived differently everywhere. Take Pablo Picasso's Les Demoiselles d'Avignon for example. In the image, the women are seen wearing African masks, which symbolize the dehumanization of women. However, people who do not have an African background or are not familiar with African culture will not be aware of the meaning behind those masks. Thus, they will form their own observational knowledge about what the masks mean. We believe that Foucault's perspective on foundations of knowledge was created through his own bias. The artist holds information on a piece because they created every aspect of it with their own intentions. A viewer is forming their own bias on art and then trying to educate other people on a piece based on their own perception. These opinionated ideas of education could closely relate to the current condition of the world when viewing art.
The language of painting is usually one of the significant symbols that is worthy of notice. In the text, the author states the terms like painter, figure, model, audience are abstract and can often cause confusion and repetition. We agree on that because there will be a clear direction for the readers when names are given to characters. For instance, instead of saying two models in the mirror in the painting, it is much clearer to say King Philip IV and his wife Marina. Moreover, the author states these proper names would form useful landmarks and avoid ambiguous designations. They would tell us, in any case, what the painter is looking at, and the majority of the characters in the picture along with him. On the other hand, in certain artistic traditions, for example religious paintings or historical paintings, naming characters is a common practice that aligns with the storytelling nature of the works. In this case, names are created to help identify and distinguish characters that are significant to the narrative tradition being depicted. Foucault's view on perspective brings a very worthy discussion to the table. It brings in these ideas of background, both literally and figuratively. His discussion on what these perspectives means and how they are influenced by the knowledge of each other is vitally important to how we think every day. He uses Las Meninas as a vessel to elaborate his own personal ideas of perception. Through his understanding, we can come to a clear conclusion of what perspective means to each person uniquely. When we step back and view it from our own perspective, like the artist does in the painting, we see it for what it truly is. not just from someone else's initial standpoint. We find this outlook helpful and worthy of discussion. It is powerful and necessary conversation in the world of knowledge. If we all look at things the same way, we would not have the same diversity of educational styles that are present today.